We anticipated that there would be measures required in response to the virus that would change the way that we do business. And before the announcement from the province, we had already delegated authority to ensure that decisions could continue to be made in the event that council was unable to meet. The province recognized the same need and gave municipalities the tools where local councils could continue to serve the needs of their communities. One of the tools was the provisions to be able to hold electronic meetings without all members of council needing to be physically present. Before we could do this, though, we had to have a special council meeting where we needed to change the procedural bylaw. And that special council meeting took place yesterday, but we only had 4 members of council there, spaced well out throughout the council chambers in accordance with the distances, and to be able to change the procedural bylaw. Once we did that, we then immediately went into our first electronic meeting, which we held. And all the electronic meetings will be live streamed so that the public can be made aware of the decisions the council made. And recognizing the financial impacts of the virus, most council decisions yesterday related to extending deadlines for payments. Payments for taxes can be delayed until May the 29th without interest being added for 2020. Similarly, payments for water and wastewater can be delayed until June the 30th without interest being added for 2020. Dog tags can be purchased with no additional costs until May the 1st. Additionally, council determined that they would proceed with the 2 public meetings relating to the short-term rentals and the cannabis production and processing facilities. These are issues that are front and center in our community, and people did not want to see those delayed. Electronic provisions will be utilized for these meetings, with the specifics being made available prior to the meeting taking place. Township continues to operate its essential services with staff available to continue processing applications that could be either sent electronically or by using a drop-off box at the admin center. Depending on the nature of the inspections, some field inspections are continuing to take place. We ask everyone to keep referring to the Township's website for updates and to remember that we continue to have a live person on the phone at the Township office for any information that people would like to have clarified. Once again, I'd like to thank Rogers for the opportunity to be able to speak directly to residents. And we need to understand that the risk of infection is increasing day by day. So we need to remain vigilant. And what is being directed by medical experts is simply for people to stay at home as much as possible. And everyone is encouraged to exercise social distancing and practice strict hygiene to slow down the spread of the virus. Recognizing that people can benefit from being outdoors, we've left our parks and trails open with a notification that park amenities and playground equipments are not sanitized and people need to take strict precautions. It's extremely important to adhere to all the directions and the advice provided by medical experts. As a proactive measure, though, Oro-Medonte declared a state of emergency in order to ensure that we could rapidly adjust to changing circumstances. This state of emergency that's been declared by the province, the county of Simcoe, and Oro-Medonte is not the same as one we've seen in the past. A number of those are related to things like ice storms, where essential services are cut off, like you don't have power, you don't have heat, and food isn't necessarily available. This one is different, and it probably will be different in that it will be lasting longer. But keep in mind that all Oro-Medonte essential service, such as ensuring safe drinking water, fire and emergency responses, are being maintained. We did introduce a fire ban to put in place, and that was mainly done to ensure our firefighters would avoid unnecessary risks. It's also important to understand that all township employees are on the job unless there's a need for them to self-isolate. However, some of their responsibilities are being shifted to deal with the increased demands that are occurring in some areas. Residents need to ensure that their information is reliable by going to trusted sources such as the Township website, Facebook, and Twitter channels in order to combat disinformation that continues to be prevalent in regards to the virus and other municipal issues. By following all the guidelines put in place by medical experts, we are all doing our part to not only protect ourselves, but to protect the safety of frontline workers, families, as they face increasing demands. Continue to take care of yourself, your families, and others, and by all means, be safe. The only way that this situation can be dealt with in the most safe way possible is for everybody to accept their personal responsibility and do what's needed to be done. Unfortunately, it's like any situation. It's almost like a hole emerging in a dam. When a portion of that dam isn't maintained, then the rest of it gets eroded. And that's a similar situation that would help with people who do not follow the guidelines that are set out by the medical officer of health. They need to think certainly that they are a member of a team that is working to combat a very serious situation.